To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land, your land, your land, your land.
Lucid.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Explore the Mouse Podcast, a podcast by Disney lovers for Disney lovers. Come join us as we dive into the wonderful world of Disney.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejados de las puertas.
Here is your host, Eric Rodakis.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 31 of Explore the Mouse Podcast. We are live from Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida.
Guys, it's so hot here right now.
It is super hot here right now.
That's like my first thought.
I
just have to share that with everyone.
Yeah, it's Florida in, what are we in, May?
It's only May.
Yeah, it's crazy. And, even back home in South Carolina where we live, which is just a little bit north of that, it's still like sweltering in the 90s. So It is super hot here, but it's still Disney World, and it's still so much fun.
We're under the magic bubble, and I never want to leave.
And the cool thing is that we actually get some good tips for you guys being here at Walt Disney World. So we're sitting in our hotel room currently, and just a little bit about the hotel we're staying at too, because we like to kind of switch around. We're staying at the Disney Springs hotels, and we're staying at the Wyndham Garden, which is actually a hotel that we stayed at
for our honeymoon.
Like
almost 4 years ago?
Almost 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's actually really cool to kind of return to this hotel and, bring our new daughter with us, which is really, really cool.
Yeah. But we try to change, we try to move around and do different hotels. Sometimes we stay on property, sometimes we stay at Disney Springs Hotel, sometimes we stay, off the beaten path, which is not always our favorite. But this time we decided to do a Disney Springs hotel. We wanted to spend a little more time in Disney Springs than we normally do. And because we knew we were going to be resort hopping, we figured we'd kind of just stay in the Disney Springs area. So
and we love it too.
That's how we wound up here.
The cool thing about the Disney Springs too is that all of them were within walking distance.
Yeah.
And the Wyndham Garden is one of the closer ones to the actual entrance to Disney Springs, which is really nice. So.
And for us, we had several different options on how to get into Magic Kingdom and different resorts as well. So,
and we'll be talking about all that in this episode. Which
because we can. Yeah,
this episode is chock full and packed with information.
There's so much to talk about.
Let's get to some Disney news though.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole ton of Disney news to give you, but one of the big ones is that the Tron ride at Magic Kingdom. And the reason I'm covering this now in Disney news is just because, like I said, it's kind of some good news briefing, is the track is being installed on that ride currently, which is pretty exciting for anyone that is looking forward to that ride being built.
We got to see it. The first day we came into town, we resort hopped, and where were we that we saw it?
We were on the monorail.
Oh, we were on the monorail. Yep, we were on the monorail.
Coming from the Contemporary over past Magic Kingdom.
And we saw the tracks going up, which was really cool to see.
Yeah, and the ride looks amazing. Like I said, all it is really dirt right now with some towers, but the ride looks absolutely amazing. And then in some other Disney news too is, I'm going to cover this only reason, just because we need some news to put in here, but is the NBA experience is really kind of...
oh my gosh, it looks so cool.
Yeah, and I wasn't really excited about the NBA experience at Disney Springs, but I can tell you that just from the outside of it, I'm actually getting more and more excited about the Disney or the NBA experience. I think it's going to be a really cool building.
Yeah. And I have to say, we at one point considered going live from inside Disney Springs and just walking around Disney Springs and recording, but the construction is so loud early in the mornings, and that's kind of the time that we would have done it. So
yeah, and if you've ever been to Disney Springs too, they have speakers everywhere, and the music is playing, and it's really loud, so it was really kind of hard to hear us. But yeah, the NBA experience looks really cool.
Yeah, and in typical Disney fashion, they've done such a great job. It's not like you're seeing a lot of the construction. They have walls up with, prototype photos of what it's going to look like. But right now, all the LED screens are up. It's really cool. Eric did catch a little video. I think it's on your Instagram.
Yeah, it's on my Instagram.
It's probably in your highlights at this point. But
and they were testing out the LED screens too, which was which was kind of cool to see. And I think it's going to be really cool because you can watch NBA games if you're into NBA.
Yeah.
You'll be able to watch NBA games while just hanging out at Disney Springs, which I think will be really cool. But this episode is chock full of info, so let's get to our actual trip itself.
Yes, okay.
And the first day that we were there, we were only there for like a quick weekend. And so one of the cool things we did is we started with resort hopping.
Yeah.
We started off at...
If you're not familiar, or if you're more of like a Disneyland, California kind of person, there's so many resorts here. There's, 20-something?
20, yeah. I mean,
22.
There's a ton.
And if you don't know, even if you're not staying at a Disney resort, you are more than welcome to resort hop and visit all of the resorts. You don't have to be a guest staying at any of them. You do to use the pools, but you can go to any of the restaurants, you can go to the gift shops, you can walk around, and they are kind of like their own little parks. Each resort has kind of like their own specialty, their own theme. They have all their gift shops are different.
The pools are all themed different. Yeah,
so we started with the Polynesian just because I wanted to go over there. I haven't been since I was young. And I have to say, having been to Hawaii, and I had the luxury of staying at the Hilton Waikalua once, which is a giant resort on the main island of Hawaii, or the Big Island. And you take like a boat back and forth because the resort is so big. That's what the Polynesian reminds me of. Like, it reminded me so much of being there. Like down to the interior of the lobby and just the outside of the buildings and the white sand beaches. It was really, really pretty.
And see, I've never experienced Hawaii or Bora Bora or anywhere like that.
Any tropical.
Yeah, I've been in the Caribbean, but I haven't been out to like that area, like where the Polynesian lifestyle is lived. But I can tell you just from like walking around, the experience you get seems very authentic.
Yeah.
Every time you pass somebody that's a cast member, it's aloha. It's not hello. It's
that was our favorite thing.
That was my favorite part because every time we pass someone, they're like aloha. And I was like, oh, whoa, aloha. Which was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And like you said, the architecture of that place is very, very authentic looking.
And we got to see the new Bora Bora bungalows, which are new to the Polynesian, and they are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, and I have that on my Instagram as well. So hopefully you had a chance to catch that before it disappears off my story. But I know I have it archived, so I might kind of throw it back up down the road again. But the Bora Bora bungalows are just beautiful. And if you guys don't know what the Bora Bora bungalows are, is similar in Bora Bora. They have kind of like bungalows or hotel rooms that are over the water. And in Bora Bora,
back deck has like a pool on it, but you're essentially like sitting in the ocean in a pool. It's really neat.
Now in Bora Bora, they're a little bit different because you have like crystal clear water where you can look down and they have windows, but it's the same concept. And the best part of it is that they have, like, whoever stays there has an amazing view of the fireworks nightly.
Yeah.
And I was told by someone too is that that they believe that there is music that can be piped into each of those bungalows, so the people that are staying at them.
Well, and because you are, again, even if you're not a member or a guest staying at the hotel, you're more than welcome to go watch the fireworks from the beach at the Polynesian.
Yeah, which is an amazing insider tip. That's such a fun thing
So
to
that's
do.
a great place to watch the fireworks. Or if you're staying at the Polynesian, you can try and get the Tonga House. I have a friend who stayed there when she was younger, and like that was like always where they stayed. And if you get a water view room, you get wonderful views of the fireworks because there's nothing there. I mean, it's literally, while we were at the Polynesian, we stood in front of the Tonga House, and you could see the top of the castle.
Yeah,
like it's just water and then Magic Kingdom. So there's nothing in your way.
So one of the cool things that we did while we were at the Polynesian too is that we got to try a big treat right now that everyone was putting all over social media, and that was the lime margarita Dole Whip. Now we both have mixed reviews on it. I know you didn't like it at all. I kind of liked it, but
let's go back. It's lime Dole Whip margarita. So it's a margarita made with lime Dole Whip.
Yes.
It's not margarita flavored Dole Whip.
Sorry, yes.
That's okay. I just, for people that don't know.
Yes.
No, I didn't like it at all.
So, and here's the thing. I like the flavor. The problem that I had with it is that I wish it was more like a frozen margarita, where this had the consistency of like a milkshake.
Yeah.
And I wasn't a big fan of that because when you're in the hot Florida sun, last thing I want is something that reminds me of a milkshake. I want something that reminds me of a nice tropical, like, frozen drink.
Yeah.
And I think that was my only gripe. The flavor wasn't horrible. It was just too milkshakey.
I think for me, I just must not like the lime extract or flavoring that Disney uses. Because remember I had trouble with that lime sorbet.
Yeah, you didn't like
that
the
they had in the
Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell ice cream cone
Yeah, you
last
didn't
fall.
like that.
Yeah, maybe I just don't like whatever lime flavor they use. Because I literally took one sip and was like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. But I do have to say, whatever that chili lime sea salt.
They rimmed the
rim
glass
on
with chili lime.
I ate the
See,
whole
yeah,
thing.
That was really good.
They didn't even. I couldn't find it. They didn't sell it at the Tea and Spice Exchange. I don't know where to get it. I loved it.
And then last thing we want to talk about the Polynesian is at the gift shop. The gift shop there is really, really cool. But one of the
They have
things,
several gift shops.
but one of the cool things about that gift shop is that they have. It's one of the places where you can exclusively find the Dole Whip Mickey ears.
Yes.
Like you can't find those at every single store,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the really cool thing too. And I have a picture of that I'm going to be posting on social media probably shortly.
And that's another thing people don't know is when you're resort hopping and things like that. Like each resort has its own line of merchandise.
Yeah, their own. Yeah.
So you might find something like they had really cute matching mom, dad, and baby outfits, like almost tiki room-esque.
Mm-hmm.
And they do have one line that they sell in the parks, but there was a second line that's only exclusive to the Polynesian. And you'll see that I'm going to today throw up some, it's not today because today we're still in Disney, but on Wednesday when we post the episode goes live, I'll put on my Instagram stories. I took pictures of some merch, and there is some resort-specific merch that I'll be sharing as well.
So after
that's just something to know.
Yeah, so after the Polynesian, we walked over to Grand Floridian.
Which I didn't know. It's literally just a hop, skip, and a jump right over. So you take we went from the beach and walked straight to the Grand Floridian. It took us 2 minutes.
And the cool thing is that when you cross over that line between the Grand Floridian and the Polynesian, not only does the brickwork on the sidewalks change, but the music changes, the flowers and the trees change. You know, you go from those tropical plants to more trees, and I think they had I forgot magnolias. I think they had. So the whole theming changes with that walk, which is really neat.
Yeah, the Grand Floridian. The Grand Floridian is exactly what it is named for.
Oh yeah,
it is like the epitome of old Southern money.
Yeah,
that's what I think of.
Oh yeah,
it reminds me of somewhere that Mary Poppins would go.
Oh,
if she were to vacation to Florida, she would stay at the Grand Floridian.
And the neat thing about that walk too is that you pass the chapel area, and the chapel at the Grand Floridian is probably one of the most beautiful spots to get married at Disney, because the inside you get to actually be in air conditioning, which is really nice. But they have big grand windows that overlook Seven Seas Lagoon and over Cinderella's castle.
Yeah,
so you're getting married.
It would be a beautiful spot.
It is beautiful, and then you could also get the Cinderella's carriage. Mickey and Minnie show up, and it's just a really cool spot to get married. And then you kind of weave your way through, and you pass the pool, and then you can enter the main lobby area of the Grand Floridian. Which, when you walk into that grand lobby, wow.
Yeah.
It is just, it's grand. It is it's
beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
And it's just a really cool place. And even if you just want to go chill, and one of the nice things about it was, I think their gift shop is one of the nicer gift shops in the area.
This gift shop, for me, I think was more, there were so many princess things.
Yeah.
It was very princess-esque.
Yeah, a lot of princess stuff.
Yeah, it was. And it was it looked small, but it wasn't small. It's very deceiving, I guess I would say.
Yeah, because
because it's such an old resort, I guess the gift shops probably used to not be that big.
Yeah, the gift shop's on the second floor, and I don't know if it was always a gift shop at that one location.
Yeah. Well, and they're doing construction in that one corner.
Yes.
They're building something big.
It overlooks the pool area.
Yeah,
There's a big
construction
construction project going on. But the cool thing about the Grand Floridian is there's a lot of history with the Grand Floridian. Mm-hmm. And I pointed out when we were walking up from the backside is the Princess Diana suite.
Well, and I was looking for the Roy Disney suite.
Yeah.
Because I had a friend who just recently went and stayed in the Roy Disney suite.
Ugh, lucky.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. she posted pictures the whole week, and I felt like I had been at the Grand Floridian.
And I'm sure the Roy Disney Suite is probably very similar to the Princess Diana one. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure like Roy Disney didn't stay in like,
Yeah.
you know, in a small suite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I pointed out the Princess Diana Suite, which you can see from the backside, and there's a lot of videos on there.
Everything's
of people.
just pretty, like really pretty big windows and just white and crisp, clean.
Very like Victorian-ish.
Yeah.
I mean,
the lobby has like a big bird cage in it, and then opposite of that is the elevator, which is almost in like a bird cage kind of looking contraption. It's just really pretty. And the floor, all the tile on the floor is beautiful, and there were hidden characters hidden characters in the floor.
But yeah, like, so like in the marble work on the floor, because the floor is marble, and the marble work on the floor, they have like, you know, characters like Tinkerbell and Goofy, Minnie and Mickey, and they're just kind of like weaved into the designs.
It was really
kind
cool.
of, what do you call it? Flourishes, right? Flourish designs.
Yeah.
They were kind of like flourish designs, and like it was just really cool, and a lot of good photo ops.
It's really cool.
Like if you're someone that wants to go to like Disney and get some really neat photos, there's a lot of great photo opportunities at Grand Floridian.
Yeah.
Which is what we did.
From there, we picked up the monorail.
Yes, hopped on the monorail.
And that's where we went past Magic Kingdom.
And the cool thing is that
Contemporary.
Well, also Polynesian and Grand Floridian, they have their own security there too. So if you're staying at those resorts and you're going to the park, like you go through security at the hotel, and then you skip the security when you get there, which is nice.
Yeah, it was convenient to do that.
Yeah. So then, we just went on a little monorail ride, went through the Contemporary, and then ended back at the Polynesian. And then we wanted to head back to Disney Springs for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but let's talk about yesterday, which is our Magic Kingdom
Our big day.
Yeah.
Our big day.
So this is so you're listening to this. This is our last day here, by the way.
Yeah.
So we're gonna we were at Magic Kingdom yesterday, and this was a huge, huge day. And we didn't think that it was a big day until we really sat down and put a list together of everything that we did.
Yeah, so I didn't think we had done as much until I made the list. Originally, our thought was that we were going to rope drop. And if you're not familiar with what that is, so park opens at 9 a.m. There were no special magic hours, right? So it opened at 9. They essentially can let you into the park anywhere between 8:15 and 9 o'clock. You don't have to... the rides start at 9 o'clock is essentially what that park start time is. So you can get into the park. Now, you can't go stand and wait at a ride. There's a rope by the castle, and you have to watch the show that goes on at the castle, and then the ropes drop, and you can go to the respective areas of the park. So if you do what's called, quote-unquote, rope drop, then you get there right at, like... I would probably wait outside the gate at 8. I would go an hour before the park opens. And then you'd go stand at that rope for however long. It's a great time to get pictures. The park is empty, so there's lots of good areas to get pictures. And then you can wait, and you can kind of like spot yourself in a certain area of the rope. So if you want to go off towards Tomorrowland, you would kind of sit on that side of the castle. If you want to go to Fantasyland, you'd kind of sit to the left of the castle. Anyways...
Well, mind you, right now there is a lot of construction going on about the moat, so they actually have the back, that little side.
That's true.
To the left of the castle, that little walkway is actually closed right now. They're
pouring cement. Anyways, so we were gonna do that, but then we were like, if we're gonna stay for fireworks, and at that point we had decided we weren't going to go back to the hotel, which we'll touch on that later. That's too long of a day.
Yeah.
So we said, let's just get to the park at 8:45 and go straight to a meet and greet so we can get in and out of that. And if you guys have listened to us for a while, you're probably rolling your eyes at the fact that I just said meet and greet, because I hate meet and greets, and I swear up and down I would never wait in line for a meet and greet. Anyways, so we got to the parks at 8:45, and we went straight to go meet Mickey and Minnie.
Because it was a 30-minute wait, which is a great time. Which is a great waiting time.
And also was not even 30 minutes.
No,
it's
it was probably maybe 20.
Yeah.
20 minutes tops.
So we met Mickey and Minnie, and I have to say that I still don't really love character meet and greets. I'm still like not going to waste my time with them, but that was totally worth 20 minutes. I cried.
Absolutely.
It was adorable. You can see the pictures on my Instagram. It was so cute.
It was, and the cool thing about it is that, so we had our daughter, who, mind you, is just shy of 4 months old.
Yeah.
And we had Harlow with us, and we had her in like a mini dress
What's that? You can see the pictures on my Instagram.
Well, I'm just trying to show him, like, tell him right now is like that. Like when we brought her in there, just the cast members and Minnie and Mickey were just like enamored by her, which was amazing. And like I said, the pictures are super super cute in that one. And if you've never stood through that actual queue line for the Mickey and Minnie meet and greet, it actually is really cool because you that little room that you go into has a lot of memorabilia. But my favorite part, and there's a picture of it as well that I'm gonna post on social media, is Scrooge McDuck's safe, which is in the wall. Which I think is a really cool photo op. But it's a really cool queue as well.
I think my favorite part was because Mickey and Minnie are in their birthday celebration outfits. They had Mickey's tux hanging up in his wardrobe. And which kind of was like where the photographer stands, so you don't normally stare at it, but it was just really cool to see. Like his normal outfit.
The attention to detail they put into it, which is really cool,
Anyways, okay, so we did the Mickey and Minnie meet and greet. Then we had to rush because we had some fast passes. And we wanted to, again, if you're not familiar with fast pass system, because yes, Disneyland has fast passes, but they work a little bit differently than they do in Disney World. In Disney World, you get 3 fast passes that you have up to 180 days before your trip if you're staying at a resort. You can book your fast passes ahead of time. So you have those 3 fast passes. Once you use all 3 fast passes, you can get as many fast passes as you want. You just have to go, you book a fast pass, do it, then you can get another one. However long you want to, until the end of the day. So we wanted to use up our first 3 fast passes so we could start getting other ones. So our first fast pass was Jungle Cruise. So we went and ran over to Adventureland. We did Jungle Cruise. It's not my favorite ride. Eric loves it.
I love Jungle Cruise.
So we always do it.
Such a classic ride.
I didn't love our skipper.
No, the skipper that we had was probably, and this is not trying to be rude, but the skipper that we had was probably like the worst skipper we've ever had. And it's because he wasn't as entertaining as some people are.
And that's the thing. Like, to say he was the worst skipper, he still was great. He was still funny. But he just, I don't know, it felt like he was just like reading off his lines.
And that's the thing, is that we know, if you've ever done Jungle Cruise before and you've had different skippers, you know that there's a script. But the thing is, there's been skippers before where they own that script, and they also kind of they improvise a little bit too, and kind of add a couple fun like own tidbits, you know. And he literally just read from the script, and then the worst part of it is that when after we went through the backside of water, and we went inside the cave, like he didn't speak. That's
like 45 to 60 seconds. He didn't say a word.
It was just dead silence.
No eye contact.
No, it was really weird.
It was weird.
And that was just kind of like a weird part about it.
It was weird.
He did at one point give a quote that kind of a, not quote, I guess you can say quote. That I am kind of gonna use.
We're putting it in our back pocket.
Back pocket for a t-shirt design, because it is amazing. So after Jungle Cruise, we went and did.
Well, no, first we stopped and got Mickey pretzels.
Yes, Mickey pretzels.
Because
we didn't have breakfast.
How could you not?
And we didn't have breakfast, so why not? Mickey pretzels, you know?
Then we went to Haunted Mansion, which we had a fast pass for. The wait time actually wasn't bad for standby. Standby wait time was like 20 minutes.
It was 20 minutes for standby, and we pretty much walked right on and with the fast pass. We went straight to the, walked straight to the fast pass line, and then when we got there, we were there, and I think within less than 4 minutes, we were let into the stretching room. Which is really, so I mean, it was really super quick. And Haunted Mansion is one of like the best rides, and my favorite part about the Haunted Mansion ride this go around is that you always get stuck on the Haunted Mansion.
We always do,
but this time we finally got stuck at the ballroom scene, which I've never got.
Usually we get stuck in the graveyard.
Yeah, or like backward.
Or the hallway, going backwards in the hallway.
But we finally got stuck facing the ballroom, which was really, really cool. Unfortunately, it's so dark in there you can't get pictures or even videos, but it was really neat to see because we finally got a chance to just kind of look around and find like different little hidden tidbits that you normally don't get a chance to see. So that was kind of fun. I
also have to say, so at this point, it's now probably like 10:30?
Yeah, about.
It was hot as...
heck.
I was going to say balls. Guys, it was so hot, I thought Harlow passed out at one point. I was so freaked out.
Yeah, we went on the Haunted Mansion.
Not to make this always about the baby, but it's so hot. It's been so hot this weekend. Okay, so we did Haunted Mansion. Then we were like, all right, we just used up 2 of our 3 fast passes. We had time to kill before the 3rd. which we'll do a whole episode about rider switch, because there's actually a couple hacks on maximizing your fast passes.
Yeah.
So you'll notice at one point when I say Eric had a third one and his third was different than my third, but that's a whole episode in itself. So we had time to kind of kill. So we went on our least favorite ride in the entire world, but it was hot and I wanted somewhere cool. So we went on It's a Small World.
Yes, we did.
We did
World.
it. The standby time was
20 minutes.
No, it was like 5 minutes.
Well, it said 20 minutes on the thing, but it was definitely quicker than
nothing.
that. It was like 5 to 10 minutes
It was
technical
crazy.
wait.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did this. We did It's a Small World, and again, if you've listened to this episode or podcast before, it's not our favorite ride.
I have major disdain for this ride. I give credit where credit's due. It's wonderful for what it is and for what it was like when it was made.
And the nostalgic purposes.
But oh my gosh, the repetitiveness, it just gets to me.
Yeah.
But we did it. We did
did it.
We can say Harlow did it. It's a great, cool ride if
Yes.
you're trying to get out of the heat. So it was perfect for what we needed at the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then what else did we do? Let's see.
Then we went over to Storybook Circus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to do a photo op with Harlow.
So we just walked around the area. We took a picture in front of Dumbo. Yeah, we wanted a picture in front of Dumbo. And we just kind of wanted to go look around at all the color and stuff. We don't ever do any rides in there. We will as Harlow gets older, because that's where Dumbo is. That's where Barnstormer is.
I really want to go on Barnstormer. So.
Yeah. But we didn't do any rides. We just walked around in there. And then we went into Big Top Souvenirs, which is the big souvenir shop.
Love Big Top Souvenirs.
It's huge, guys, and it's a really, really cool souvenir shop. And again, I keep saying, if you've listened to us before, you'll know that each souvenir shop has its own specialty items as well. So this one happens to have a big candy counter and like a caramel apple station in the middle of the store.
Yes.
So you can watch them. It's almost like Goofy's Kitchen. You can or Candy Cauldron.
Candy Cauldron.
You can watch them make caramel apples and the dipped marshmallow pops and things like that while you're in there, which is so fun.
But some of the treats that were in there were exclusive to the Big Top area, like the Dumbo treats.
Yes. So I took a picture of some Dumbo cookies. Those are in my Instagram. A lot of the things that we're referencing are in our Instagram. Now our highlights, probably, because we posted them yesterday. So by the time this episode airs, they'll be in our highlights. But yeah, there was a Dumbo cookie that was so cute. And I took pictures of some of the rose gold treats. Because the Briar Rose Gold collection is out right now. And they have some Rice Krispie treats and cake pops and cookies and things like that. Yeah, so we did Big Top Souvenirs.
And it's another good place, too, to get out of the sun and get out of the heat. Like, if you just need to get out of the heat for a little bit, go in there, and it's just another nice place to do. And then we shot. Well, we did Dumbo. We took pictures in front of Dumbo. Before that, and then we got to go to our second meet and greet.
Which Eric had a fast pass for.
Yes, which is Casey's favorite character. So we got to go see the Little Mermaid.
But even then, if I didn't have a fast pass and I didn't have a baby to take pictures with, I still wouldn't do a meet and greet.
Yes.
Even though she's my favorite princess.
But we did go get to meet the Little Mermaid, and we had a Little Mermaid outfit for Harlow, which again, Ariel was so enamored on how cute it was, and it was actually really cute to get a picture of her sitting next to Ariel. And
she had a matching outfit.
Just really cool. And like I said, I love meet and greets. Casey's not, so it was actually fun for me to actually get a chance to do these meet and greets, especially with my daughter now.
And notice, guys, how I said Eric had a fast pass, but we both got to go into the pictures. When you're dealing with photographs, if you're not taking, it's not like we both went in saying he's going to take portraits and then I'm going to take portraits. We went in as one person to take photos of one person in there. So they allowed us, we just walked up and said, he has a fast pass, but I would like to take the photos, and they said no problem. So
which
that's
is really nice.
A good way to kind of know you're going around it that way. If you are there with grandma and grandpa or a group of several people, not going to work.
Yeah, you can't bring 20 people in with you. But so then after that, we kind of took a little bit of a break. And we got to go check out the baby center.
The baby care center.
The baby care center, which is between Crystal Palace and Casey's
Corner.
Really nice.
So
really
every
cool.
park in Walt Disney World, and I think Disneyland as well has a baby care center. I'm not entirely sure of the locations of each one, but you can go on the Disney Experience app and it'll tell you. But it was nice. I will say it's a little outdated.
Yes.
So it was a little warm, and everything was a little used, but that's totally fine with me. There was a room with probably half a dozen changing table areas, big changing tables. There was a room with probably a half a dozen high chairs and a TV and a microwave. There was a room with nursing chairs, like a private room that was very quiet with nursing chairs. And then they had a room with everything you could need that you might run out of.
A little
baby
shop for all baby
sunscreen,
stuff.
Formula, Advil, Tylenol.
And that's where we
stroller fans.
We bought a clip-on Mickey stroller fan.
Which I could write a whole blog post about the damn stroller fan. And everybody warned me. I had so many people warn me and said, go on Amazon and just buy a rechargeable one. The batteries are going to die, and I forgot to. So we paid $20 for the stroller fan, and we had to get it replaced 3 times, and it's dead again. And it's the day after we bought it today.
Yeah.
So it's fine. It's cute. Whatever.
Well, we'll change batteries when we get home too.
Yeah.
And put some rechargeables in it. But
batteries.
it's definitely it was worth buying because it definitely cooled it off.
Oh, and they have a water cooler. You can refill your water bottles there.
Yeah.
So we've refilled our giant hydro flask. So the baby care center overall was actually very beneficial. It was nice again to get out of the heat. It was a good place to change her other than a bench on the side of the walkway. And a nice, comfortable chair to nurse in. So I would recommend the baby care center.
And after that, we kind of did a little bit of walking around, waiting for your cousin to come.
Yeah.
Who's a cast member at Disney, and she was meeting us for lunch, which we went over to one of our top favorites.
Well, so first we walked the Emporium.
Yes,
because that's one of our favorite places. I love the Emporium. It's my favorite souvenir shop. And we always go through the Emporium because that's how we leave the park. Yeah. We cut through Casey's and go through the Emporium so we don't have to walk on Main Street. It's my favorite souvenir shop because I think you can just get everything there. It's World of Disney inside the park.
Yeah, and it's all one long building with AC, which is the best part of it all.
Yeah, so we walked to the Emporium, and then we met up with my cousin who's a cast member. She had gotten off shift, took the tram over to meet us. And then we went to
Cosmic Rays,
which we used to go to every time we went to the parks.
Yeah.
It's our favorite place. But then we started, for the sake of the podcast and the blog, we started trying all these different restaurants. So when she recommended it or suggested it, we were like, yeah, okay, sounds good.
We haven't been there in the last several trips.
Because we haven't gone,
yeah.
So,
and plus they had a new burger that I wanted to try, and it was basically like a bacon cheeseburger with mac and cheese on it. And it had flaming hot Cheeto dust.
Hot Cheeto dust.
And then on the top bun, Mickey's face was burned into the bun, which again, that's on my Instagram, and you've probably seen it as well. It's such a good burger. Yeah. The topping bar though is the best.
Yeah, so that's my favorite thing about Cosmic Rays. If you're not familiar, it's a burger and chicken sandwich restaurant, and you just get fries and stuff. They do have chicken tenders for kids, but they have a toppings bar. So they have mushrooms, onions, and pickles, and lettuce, and cheese, and garlic mayo, or garlic ranch, and all these fun things. And it's just, you just get little tubs, and you can fill them up with whatever you want. So it's kind of a customizable thing. I think it's fairly decent prices, too. I think yours was $14.99.
Yeah,
mine, I just got a burger. Couldn't have the cheese, so I just got a burger with french fries.
We had bacon burger with no cheese.
Oh, yeah, bacon. Mine was $12.99, but they all come with french fries, too.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good price.
Absolutely. And the cool thing, too, about Cosmic Rays is that if you're a vegan and you are not, you don't eat meat, is they have a vegan Sloppy Joe option.
Yeah, they did.
So if you're into Sloppy Joes and you're looking for a vegan option, that's a great place to find that at, which it did look good, but I went for the burger because I wanted the mac and cheese. But yeah, so after Cosmic Rays, we decided to swing over and do one of our favorite attractions ever, and that was Carousel of Progress.
And at this point, it was the hottest peak of the day.
Oh, it was brutal.
So we knew we had to get out of the sun.
As soon as you stepped into the sun at this part of the day, you literally just sweated instantly. It was really bad.
So we did Carousel of Progress, and that's 20 minutes in total, so that killed about 20 minutes for us, because we didn't have to wait, we just walked straight in. And so at that point, we decided, which I swore up and down I would never do, we decided to leave the park.
Yeah. Never thought we would leave the park
just to go to the
halfway.
hotel for a little bit, give the baby a break. And honestly, it was the best thing we could have done.
Yeah, because so we left for about 2 hours, and we went to the
in total,
hotel pool.
we were gone for 2 hours, which was not bad at all.
Not bad at all, no.
That includes us leaving the park, getting on the ferry, getting on the bus, back to Disney Springs Hotel. The baby napped that whole trip, so she actually didn't nap when we got back to the hotel, so we went to the pool, we had some Mai Tais, we were able to like take a shower and regroup, back on we took the monorail this time, the bus to the monorail, back to Magic Kingdom. We were out of the park for only 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
No, it wasn't bad at all.
And we felt
refreshed. On the bus ride back to Magic Kingdom, we literally looked at each other, and I was like, man, it feels like the start of a new day.
Yeah, it did. It felt like a whole new day.
Nice. And then, so we picked up, on the way back, we actually picked up a Fast Pass. Because while we left, we actually lost a Fast Pass.
Yeah, I had to give up one of my Fast Passes.
So
my third Fast Pass, we gave it up.
So because we gave it up, we were able to book another one. So on the way back, I was trying to find them. We found Pirates.
Yeah.
So as soon as we got to the park, we were going to run to Pirates, except
torrential downpour, which in Florida is normal. It lasts for 20 minutes, and that's it. So we waited till it started to lighten up a little bit, and then we kind of walked through the rain. Yeah. Which wasn't bad. But it is a good time for people that are not from Florida and aren't used to like the Florida random showers, or if you're staying for a week, they usually leave the parks. Yeah. So the park clears out. So
it empties out.
Wait times dropped to nothing.
Except for Peter Pan.
But even then, it was still like...
It's dropped to like 45 minutes.
It was like, but we got to Pirates, and the standby time was 5 minutes. So if we didn't have the baby and had like didn't have other plans going on, we would have probably jumped in that 5-minute standby line, done Pirates, and then doubled back with our Fast Pass. Yeah. Which is probably what we would have done earlier in the morning with Haunted Mansion as well, with that 20-minute wait time. Yeah. Or 20-minute standby time. Anyway, so we did Pirates.
Then we got to do the Tiki Room.
And we did Tiki Room, which was so much fun.
Because it was really, and again, not to bring it back on our daughter, but it was really fun to see our daughter, who, like I said, being almost 4 months old, just staring around at the talking birds.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun.
And cooing and laughing, and it was just really cool to see. And it's one of our favorite attractions because of the nostalgia of the Tiki Birds being one of Walt Disney's first animatronics that
I think that's another reason that I love that one so much.
It is just such a cool place, and again, it's indoors. It's a good place to get out of the heat. And then when you leave, you get to go get a Dole Whip.
Yes, yeah.
Because Aloha Isle is right outside of that ride.
Which, speaking of... Guys, I feel like we let ourselves down with the fact that aside from a Mickey pretzel and Cosmic Rays, we didn't get anything. No. We normally go, and again, if you've listened to us, we go for the food. We go for the snacks. I had so many things that I wanted to try. That giant ass donut at the launching pad. I wanted the Genie's Wish donut. I wanted the Lost Princess ice cream cone, the Hey Hey cone, the Lost Princess Eclair. We didn't get anything. No. I was so distracted with A, how hot it was, and B, a baby. Yeah. That we didn't get anything.
At the end of the day, like I remember, because I was just like, wait, I never got my donut. I wanted the Mickey donut.
Turkey leg. We didn't get anything.
We were just so distracted with everything else that we totally forgot. So, we have to remember next time we next time we go back.
Just set a reminder.
Like every hour.
Eat something fun.
Eat a snack.
We did save money this time because we didn't buy all the snacks. Yeah. But so we left Tiki Room, and then we went on the My Disney Experience app again and grabbed another Fast Pass for Voyage of the Little Mermaid. Yeah. Which is just always a fun ride. We love doing that one, but we always feel so silly in the queue because it's always like us with these families with little girls.
And that's just two grown adults. So
we always feel really silly.
Yeah, so it was definitely nice this time to have a little baby with us.
Yeah. Although, again, we walked up and the standby time was 10 minutes. So we could have done it and then done it again, but we didn't.
But this is where our night kind of took a turn, which is normally what we don't do. We normally stay for the fireworks. We normally stay for that.
It was 8:50.
Yeah, it was 8:50 at the end of that ride, and I literally said, you know what? Let's beat the crowds out of here. Yeah. Let's go back and let's go to Disney Springs, grab some dinner, and do that. So we kind of got out of there, and we were on the monorail when the fireworks started.
Yeah. So we didn't get to see them.
Yeah.
No, we were on the bus. We were on a bus.
Yes, I'm sorry. We were on the bus. So, we kind of saw them in the distance, but it was actually really nice to get out of there without fighting crowds, which is something we normally do. And
no, we were on the monorail.
Yeah, we were on the monorail.
Duh, from the
Yeah, because they started the
Yeah,
fireworks
we had to
started
take the monorail
just
to
as we
the
were
ticket
leaving the
transfer
monorail.
center,
But like I said, it was just actually a really nice thing to do, is to get out of there, and then we busted over to Disney Springs, and we went to Cook's of Dublin and had
Got some
fish and
fish and
chips.
chips.
Which, by the way, Casey tried the gluten-free fish and chips because apparently the normal one has dairy in it of some sort.
Well, I learned that after our first. When did we get here? Saturday.
Saturday morning.
We went to Disney Springs,
Yesterday.
and we went to Chicken Guy, and I have never tried Chicken Guy, so I was super excited. 10 minutes after my meal, I quickly found out that the chicken must be dredged in buttermilk or some sort of dairy because no, my stomach hurt so bad.
But she got the gluten-free
So we thought
fish
to
and
ask
chips.
now, and
Let me
they
tell
said,
you.
yeah.
I will get the gluten-free fish and chips over the normal
Oh,
one
yeah, no.
any day of the week from now on. It was the most delicious, crispiest like fish and chips I've ever had in my life.
And I soak my fish and chips in malt vinegar, and they were still so crispy.
So if you guys are ever at Cook's of Dublin at Disney Springs, try the gluten-free one. Honestly, there's no price difference, and it's 10 times crispier, and the flavor is really good.
Yeah.
So that brings us to today.
Well, actually, and I just thought about.
Not today.
No, I mean we can talk about today, but on Saturday when we got to Disney, we went back to the hotel. Oh, and then we went back to Disney Springs for dinner because we went to Blaze. I was trying to figure out when did we go to Blaze? Yeah, the first night.
Sorry, the first night we were.
Blaze is
which
like our
Saturday.
favorite pizza restaurant in Disney Springs. It's essentially the Chipotle of pizza restaurants, is what Eric calls it.
Yeah.
So you can walk up and customize your own pizza. It's like $10 a pizza, so we each get one. We eat for $20, which is awesome.
Super cheap.
And they have a vegan cheese and even vegan chorizo, which, if you're new here, I'm not vegan. I ordered my vegan cheese with bacon, so don't worry. The kid behind the counter is very confused. I'm just dairy free, and it's just for a year. But so I was super excited to get a pizza with vegan cheese because I could have dairy free cheese.
But again, I have to admit though that I took a bite of your pizza, and being vegan cheese and vegan chorizo.
I tried the vegan chorizo.
It honestly so good.
Yeah.
Like I was just completely shocked on how good a vegan pizza was. So we went to Blaze.
Yeah, and, sorry, I was like, when did we do that? I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah,
that was on
definitely
Saturday.
check out Blaze, and if you're vegan or even vegetarian, check out their vegan cheese and their vegan chorizo. Really, really good.
Okay,
so this
so
brings
now
us
that
to
brings
today,
us to today.
Monday. I don't even know what the date is. Monday the 20th.
Yeah.
So it brings us to today, and so this morning we walked around Disney Springs a little bit, and we were going to record live at Disney Springs, but we realized how loud it was.
Yeah.
So before we checked out, we came back to the hotel to do this episode. But let me tell you, so we did some fun stuff this morning, including really walk around World of Disney.
Yeah.
Because we really wanted to see some of the new merchandise, and I'm only mentioning this because it's coming up very shortly in a little over a week. On June 1st is Disney launched a huge rainbow collection line of all Disney merchandise. And if people don't know what June 1st is, June 1st at Disney is, they call it Gay Days.
Gay Day! I'm so excited. I'm really sad we're going to miss it.
Yeah, and I remember we were talking about that, and you realized that we were there just shy of it.
I'm so sad we're going to miss it. But the merch is so cool, you guys. I took pictures, so I will be posting. Again, I'm going to be posting that the day this episode releases, but I'll post more in detail as each event goes on, because I did take pictures for certain events as well. Yeah. But the merch is so cool.
The merch is so cool for the Gay Day, or Gay Days. Is that how you put it? I wasn't sure if it was Gay Days or Gay Days, but the merchandise was really, really cool, and the lines that they had, they had the rainbow Mickey.
They have a rainbow Mickey really stuffed animal that I loved.
The castle T-shirt was really cool.
Yeah, well, they have several T-shirts that are really, really cool. My two favorite one was it says Walt Disney World, it just repeats it, Walt Disney World, Walt Disney World, Walt Disney World, but each one is in a different color of the rainbow. And then my favorite was the castle is done in rainbow colors, which I loved. And then my favorite ears, because they had several options for hats and ears, my favorite ears are black Mickey ears in sequin with a big rainbow bow. But it's not gaudy. It's really, really cute. I took a picture.
Really cool merchandise. Yeah. speaking of merchandise, Disney has really paid attention. You mentioned this, so I'm stealing your line, but they've really paid attention to Etsy.
I think they're not just Etsy, but
Or
Etsy
home.
and Pinterest
Yeah.
and like small businesses, even some Instagram accounts that I follow. It's not that they're stealing designs. I think they're being smart and they're piggybacking off of certain things. I think their buyers are just paying attention to what people like, and I commend them for that. Like I said, I think people support small businesses as well as support the parks. So I don't think that there's any kind of competition
I just
there.
think Disney's capitalizing on that popularity of those.
Yeah, I just think
Etsy,
they're
Pinterest style
noticing,
shirts.
they're paying attention. There were some really funny shirts with like silly sayings, and then they've kind of. So normally Disney just has like, here's our graphic T-shirts, and it's like grumpy, and it says like I'm grumpy, you know. But now they have their graphic line, and then they also have like a vintage throwback line.
Yeah, the vintage throwback line is amazing.
A cool sayings line. They have their original Mouseketeer line, the 90th birthday collection, which I have to say, I'm actually disappointed. There were a couple pieces from the collection, not apparel, but like some of the dolls and stuff, and maybe the coffee mugs. But the apparel-wise, I don't love it. I think it's very childish.
Yes.
If you guys are new here, I am a buyer for a retail company and at a resort, so I pay a lot of attention to these things. I'm not impressed. Not impressed. I think it's very childish. I would not have purchased any of the pieces from that collection.
Yeah, I agree. The Disney birthday ones didn't really impress me too much.
They look like emojis, like little present emojis and little birthday party hat emojis, and I don't want to spend $69.99 on a sweatshirt with little party hats.
The only thing out of the birthday collection I liked were the two Minnie and Mickey stuffed animals.
The vintage dolls.
That they had that were conveniently priced $90 for the 90th birthday.
It's they come in a set. I took a picture of those.
But I want to go back to my T-shirt though, because the T-shirts were amazing. But the one T-shirt that I loved the most is they had one that said Walt Disney World, and if you guys kind of either remember it or go back and look at it from like the 70s and 80s.
Oh yeah, I took a picture of that one too.
Yeah, they had a T-shirt there that had the vintage Mickey logo, which was like the ears, and like the head of Mickey was kind of like a globe, and then it said Walt Disney World, and then it kind of had like that. What would you call it? Like drop shadow effect behind it, and every different shadow was a different color, which was very nostalgic back to the 70s and 80s. And it was such a cool T-shirt, and they also had it in a sweatshirt form. I'm kind of bummed I didn't buy it. Like I was debating buying it, and I'm bummed that I didn't. So I'm hoping it's still there next time we go back.
I'm sure it will be.
Because I really want that, or Character Warehouse. We'll hopefully find it there.
I think my favorite shirt was. It's a silly saying, but it has like a Mickey head, and it says "Single rider seeking my party of two."
Which I think was actually, think about it.
That's so funny.
If you are a single person and you're going to go to Disney, why not put that on? You never know. You might find another single person that has it. That
I love it. I think it's so. I thought it was so funny.
But yeah, their T-shirts were amazing. Even the kids, even like the ears. The ears are really cool. Yeah, I took a picture.
And there also is a new pair of ears that was released today, actually, because they weren't in World of Disney yesterday, and I just saw them this morning. So I took a picture of those, and they had a new arrival sign as well. So
which ones are those?
They're kind of like a silver with a tint of like a champagne.
Okay, yeah.
And then the bow, and in the middle of the bow is the castle.
Yes.
It's made out of rhinestones.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think my favorite ears that were out there was the Up. I think the up ears were really cool, because like the center bow, which obviously it was made for a woman, but like the ears, the bow had like the balloons in it, and then there was the grape soda bottle cap, which was really cool.
The new ears that just came out. Sorry, I just showed him a picture.
As soon as you said it, I remembered exactly which one it was. But
the Aladdin or the jasmine, the jasmine ears.
Those were
are beautiful
so
too,
really,
and I'll share those as well.
Cool. And we took a lot of photos.
I could talk about all of these, but yeah, I took pictures of a lot of the new merch,
especially for Aladdin. With Aladdin coming out on the 24th, we took a lot of pictures of all the new Aladdin merch.
Yeah.
But even the baby stuff was really cool. Stuffed animals. Disney is like killing it right now with the stuffed animals. Yeah. Including the giant Dumbo, which we debated buying that.
Oh my god, I was seriously so close to buying like an $80 jumbo Dumbo stuffed animal.
But also with Toy Story coming out, they had a whole section which used to be the Marvel section. They replaced the Marvel section of World of Disney with all things Toy Story.
And there was
a lot of cool merch.
I have to say, World of Disney their renovation was so practical.
Yeah.
As far as like a merchandising standpoint, last time we were there was November, so it was all set up for Christmas. And what was the Christmas section this time is now the Delish section, which if you're not familiar is their food collection. And so they have like stuffed Mickey pretzels and they're scented, by the way. The stuffed pillows are scented. The stuffed Dole Whip pillow and the stuffed macaroon pillow, and it's delish. But so that whole section, all they had to do was change out some of the awnings, and it was like a whole new section. So the merchandising, as far as World of Disney and their renovation goes, was so practical and makes so much sense. So
I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised I forgot about the delish section, because that was the first thing that we saw when we walked in.
I sniffed every pillow,
and it was cool. Yeah, the pillows were really cool, because she was like, "Hey, smell this real quick." And I thought it was funny that she told me to smell
I'm
a
scented,
pillow.
and I was like, "What?"
And I smelled it, and I was like, "Whoa!" The only thing I was disappointed on is that they didn't have a scented Mickey waffle pillow that smelled like maple syrup.
Yeah,
that would have been cool. But the delish line
they
of all
had
the
a
Mickey
Mickey
treats
ice cream bar.
That smelled like a Mickey ice cream bar. It was really cool.
It was so weird.
But I really enjoy that delish line, because Disney, like you said, Disney snacks, we've talked about, is that we love going to the parks for the Disney snacks. And I think it's really cool that they're capitalizing on making some amazing, amazing merchandise. So let's talk real quick. Let's get out of World of Disney and finish this episode up. And let's talk about some of our new favorite things at Disney Springs. Like I said, La Nuba has moved out at Cirque du Soleil, and they're really doing construction and trying to get that new show open, which they still haven't revealed what the new show is.
Yeah, and all it says outside is like we're working really hard to bring you a new attraction.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what the new show is going to be, but some of my other favorite things about that whole area, and this is something that this is kind of more of, and we've talked about it before, is hopping on the boats.
Yes.
Hopping on the boats and doing some resort hopping, because you could hop between Port Orleans and the other boat goes to Saratoga Springs, which you could also walk to from Disney Springs. But one of our favorite is Old Key West. Which we did take a boat ride over to Old Key West just to kind of see it. We stayed at Old Key West before, and it was an amazing place.
Yeah. We hopped over there this morning.
Yeah, we hopped over there this morning and kind of took a little walk around, took some pictures, got some really cute photos of Harlow on the hammocks over by the beach area. And if you've never been to Old Key West, it honestly reminds you of like an old like Key West, Florida type of feel, like the bright colors.
Kind of reminds me of a retirement community.
It kind of does. It kind of
in
does.
a really positive way.
Yeah, but it's
I've said if I could live in a retirement community, I would.
But it's the way that they did everything, including the sandcastle ride, is just really, really, really cool.
Slide? You mean slide?
Or slide?
Cool.
I'm sorry.
I was like, what? There's
Not
a ride.
The sandcastle like water slide, and like I said, we stayed there, and the pool is just really, really awesome.
My only thing with Old Key West is like when we go to Port Orleans, we go to Port Orleans for the Mickey beignets.
Oh yes.
Well, I don't see anything at like Old Key West that I'm like, I have to go because I want to get
because
when we go, we just take the boat over, we walk.
Yeah, because Old Key West has Olivia's, and Olivia's doesn't have any treats in there that are like you have to go there for that.
They do have the gurgling suitcase, which is like the bar there, but we didn't do that with Harlow this time.
Yeah, but I like Old Key West, but again, I agree with you. Port Orleans has a little bit more.
Like there's not like a fun specialty snack that I can go get there.
No, or it's not like the milkshakes you can get over at Boardwalk. There's just a lot of
I want to go for like a snack.
Yeah. So we hopped over there, and then we went back to Disney Springs, and we had lunch at the Polite Pig. And Polite Pig is one of our favorite places. And the food...
We did a review on them a couple episodes back, so you should go listen to that, because we could talk about that for 25 minutes.
But the food was amazing. They always have some good stuff. The one thing I want to highlight real quick, though, on the menu that we ate for lunch was the watermelon and tomato salad with feta cheese.
So fresh.
It literally, in a hot Florida day, it was one of the most refreshing things that I have ever had.
It was very, very fresh.
Unfortunately, we are back here at the hotel, and we are packing up. We're already packed up. And we're going to be heading out of here. And that kind of brings us to the end of our Disney trip for this go-around, at least.
Very sad, yeah. We'll definitely be back in the fall. We won't be back this summer. Eric's trying to convince me to let him go for Galaxy's Edge opening.
So if you guys listen to this podcast and you want me to go to Galaxy's Edge and report live from it, hit up Casey's social media, which is SC Disney Wife, and hound her and tell her to let me go to Galaxy Edge opening on August 29th.
He's trying so hard. But we don't have anything on the books because A, summer is burning hot. B, it's so busy. And C, it's like busy in the parks.
Oh, yeah.
The park is incredibly busy. And
Personal-wise,
C, yes,
busy,
work-wise, we are swamped in the summer. So we typically won't be taking a trip back till the fall unless Eric can
I'll be there
otherwise.
August 29th for Galaxy's Edge opening. So
anybody wants to fund his trip,
stay tuned for that one.
And get me a babysitter, then
stay tuned for that one. But so I'll be heading back to August 29th, but then we'll go back in the fall. But that'll be it. But yeah, so that was our Disney trip, and I hope that some of our information helps you guys, and we will be doing more detailed episodes in the future on certain things like Rider Switch and
I want to work on a couple different blogs. I'd like to do one about nursing moms in Disney, because there were some tips that I read going in about certain rides to do at certain times and things like that. Rider Switch is a whole one.
There's a lot.
There's quite a few.
There's a lot that we're working on, but that's it for this episode. So join us next week, episode 32, which we are going to be talking about Up, the movie, and pretty much everything else about Up, because, believe it or not, it's hard to believe, Up is 10 years old.
I can't believe that.
I did not realize Up was that old of a movie. So we're going to be covering the movie Up, some of our favorite things, and everything that is Up inside of all the Disney parks, because every single Disney parks has a ton of Up stuff going on.
Up.
It's really weird to say Up.
I should say Up more.
Yeah, so, but that is it for this episode. Thank you so much.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. We'll see you guys next week.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Explore the Mouse podcast. We invite you to fill your week with everything Disney by checking us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Explore the Mouse. Also, check us out at explorethemouse.com, where you can find amazing photos from our trips, our blogs, and information regarding upcoming episodes. Have a magical day, and we'll see you next week.